It's time for episode 74 of FestPod, where we'll be chatting to the headliners of the 2024 Takeover at Download Festival, Bleed Again. And we'll chat to Hammerdown Harry from Hammerdown Festival to find out what the 2025 festival has in store. It's all coming up next on FestPod, the unofficial rock festival guide, right after this short message from our sponsor.
Are you looking for that last-minute festival essential? Or maybe you just want to travel light and get your whole camping setup when you arrive on site? The good news is that Fat Frank's Camping Shop will take care of all your festival camping essential needs. From camping chairs to blow-up airbeds, cosy duvets to festival cooking sets, Fat Frank has it all. And what's more, Fat Frank offers a click and collect service at several UK festivals. So head to fatfrankscampingshop.com to order now, or visit Fat Frank and the lads at your favourite festival. Fat Frank's Camping Shop, the official sponsors of FestPod, the unofficial rock festival guide.
Welcome to FestPod, the unofficial rock festival guide. I'm Neil Wilkinson with it's not your latest news, actually. It's a couple of interviews from some very, very interesting people. But I'd like to welcome my fellow host, Aaron Prime.
Yo, what's happening? I've got no voice, but I'm still here because I'm committed.
You're a trooper. You are full of vocal zones.
Full of vocal zones. I'm actually lacking in vocal zones. We fucking ran out. Yeah,
Send in your vocal zones.
Smashing them like you wouldn't believe. Big endorsement for Vocal Zone though. Love those. Love those.
Yeah.
If anyone
Do they have flavoured ones?
I prefer, it's my preference. I know there's different flavours, it's like honey and lemon, different things. I really like the blackcurrant ones.
Oh, yes.
I think Vocal Zones are an acquired taste in some ways, but the blackcurrant ones are my favourite ones. They do have nice flavours and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And it saved your voice, basically. You've had a whole packet.
I'm talking, which is like my defiance of like, I will chat shit at all costs. I will do whatever I need to do to make sure I can continue to chat some shit.
Yes.
So I'm here.
Yeah, great. And we haven't seen you for a while. You've been busy on tour and doing stuff.
Yes. Busy doing stuff. But I'm here and I'm always make time for FestPod because
you are very, very welcome.
This is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be part of.
It is. So, unfortunately, we haven't got our lovely Rich Holmes, who is being attended to by medical professionals
NHS
at this point.
Are absolutely smashing it and looking after him at the minute.
Yes, thank God for the NHS.
Thank God.
We'll see him next time. Best wishes. Send positive thoughts to Rich.
Sending all our love and healing powers forwards.
Healing powers.
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Everyone
feel
do
my
this
hands.
together and we'll all heal Rich together as one.
Yes, I love that. Wouldn't that be amazing if that worked?
He's going to come back with a six-pack, just fucking, like, he's put in a health kick, juice cleanse, he's bigger, stronger than ever, do you know what I mean, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh my God, yeah.
He'd be like, thank you for your healing powers, everyone.
Yeah, he will. That would be incredible. I would love to see that.
Yeah. HenchPod, as this will now be known. The new fitness app. Yeah. And we've got Download coming up.
Oh, we have, and we're so excited. Oh my God.
Okay, now.
We've got loads to say about that, and we've got news coming in a future episode. So between now and Download, you will get another episode where we actually talk about the news. But that's not what we're doing here and now. We have a couple of lovely guests.
Yes,
we are going to be talking to the wonderful Hammerdown Harry, who is joining us from his beautiful apartment in Worthing, his luxury apartment. I don't know if it's luxury. I'm just saying. And he talks to us about this year's Hammerdown Festival, which is happening in Brighton in July.
Lovely Harry, lovely guy.
Which you're going to be at as well. You're going to be there, aren't you?
I will actually be there at Hammerdown. It's going to be amazing. We haven't played there since 2023, so we are coming back and we cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be
amazing. And first of all, we have a chat with the lovely Bleed Again, who we haven't actually seen. Yeah, Bleed Again, woohoo!
Sam and James, beautiful boys.
We've not seen Bleed Again boys since the takeover, a download in 2024, which is just mad now. You know, we've been doing this for such a long time, and we've met that many bands. It's, you know...
losing bloody track, losing bloody marbles. Put that fucking cooker on.
So we'll have a catch up with the Bleed Again boys after we have reminded you that if you are not subscribed to FestPod, you can do that straight away by just clicking on like and subscribe. Get involved. Let's stay in touch with each other and have a look at all the other episodes.
That'd be a good decision to make. If you're going to make good decisions today, that'd be the best decision.
It would.
Honestly, no matter how shit your day gets, at least you've subscribed to FestPod. Treat yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It won't cost you anything. It's free to subscribe.
No, it's just nice. Just a nice thing.
Also, I want to say a huge thanks to our Patreons who continue to support the show. Thanks very much. If you'd like to do that yourself, if you want to support the show, just go to festpod.co.uk, click on support us. You will also find a beautiful selection of merchandise. I do want to say, actually, I always go on about the mugs. The mugs are now available in a plethora of different colours. Yeah, so if you want to get a pink one, if you want a pink one...
I've got a pink one.
He's got a pink one.
It's on my draining board at the minute in the kitchen. It's really nice.
He's got his pink one on the draining board.
My pink one's on the draining board. It's a good brew, that, you know. It's a perfect size for a brew, and it looks cool. But
and
yeah,
it's got your name on it.
It's a good mug. You know, yes. Some mugs different sizes. Some they give you these tiny cups. You're like, I can't get a full brew out of that.
No.
But some you get these fucking massive things. You're like, that's about 8 cups of tea. So I like a mug to be like mug sized.
Mug sized.
Is that bias? I don't know, but I just like a decent brew out of a decent mug, and that is exactly what you get in there. So
yes, yeah, loads of different colours though, and they are $11.99 if you'd like a mug plus the shipping. So just have a look at festpod.co.uk and you'll find our selection there. It does take you to an Etsy page where you can have a look at. There's all sorts on there, to be honest. T-shirts, hoodies, all sorts. So have a browse. Have a Butchers. Have a Frank Butchers.
Have a browse.
Yes. So let's now have a word with the Bleed Again boys.
Woo! Come on in, Sam and James. How you going, boys?
Welcome, guys.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hello. Thank you for having us. How you doing?
It's been a while, hasn't it? We've not chatted for a little while. I think it must have been the takeover when we last chatted to you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think last time we spoke properly was when we just came off stage. Yeah.
Oh my God! Now that blows my mind. It's because we're just about to have the next takeover, and obviously a year is a long time in music. So things have changed. So I believe you've got one or two things that you wanted to talk to us about and let the audience know about.
Yeah, indeed. So a little while ago, Simon, our guitarist, let us know that he was planning on leaving the band after essentially starting it with me years and years and years ago with different names and different lineups and stuff. But yeah, he gave us a great amount of time to try and find a replacement and everything. And we did that, and we've written some new music. And the first song of that period, the next period of Bleed Again, is coming out on Friday, and it's called Obsession.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my God. So we've got a little, you've been very kind and provided us with a little teaser. So if I could get my bloody thing to work, we'll have a little look at your teaser.
A little taste. Just sprinkle that on there, baby. Let's see. Just the tip, God. Please, if you can, Neil.
Just the tip.
Thank
Only
you.
the tip. Yeah. Nothing more. We're not going to go mad today.
Just to start, anyway.
Just a little. It's an hors d'oeuvre of Bleed Again.
I recognise the back of that sexy head anyway. There we go. Here he is.
See that just dropped to silence. That's how you do a tease. Oh my God! So
it gets pretty lively after that.
Nice.
Does it?
Nice.
So talk about this tune then. What's the story behind it?
the main intention of writing this one, I think, well, in terms of if we go away from lyrics and everything else and we just think of in a live setting, we'd been after, playing a handful of shows in our time, one of those being The Takeover, which was, as we say, incredible. We acknowledge that we don't really have that many moments or songs where it is just jump up, touch the ceiling, jump, 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 jump. And this was, for me, an opportunity where we were like, we need to do that before lyrics, everything else and meaning comes. Obviously that's all important. The feel for the song was, I want something where people were just gonna, like, the right BPM, for example. And
we picked the right tempo specifically, and wanted to write something just like really bouncy and perky, just to get people off their feet, because we've got moments in our live sets where we've got opportunities to do like Walls of Death and circle picks in numerous songs, and we do like a jump up thing, but we haven't got just a jump, just a bounce kind of song in the set, and we never really have. There's sections of songs, but this one was meant for that, really.
Yeah.
And then obviously lyrically, it has its different meanings.
So that was the main intention, but then with the lyric side of things, it's kind of like Obsession obviously is the title for both of us, combining a lot of the time with writing the lyrics. This one was, we didn't want it to be necessarily about having bad habits or bad obsessions or good habits. It's that kind of grey area, like, is this good for me, is it bad for me, is this person, is this thing I do, this hobby, this habit, is this good or bad? And maybe it's both, or has moments of both. So that for me is where the lyrics came from, and I think we could all relate to that in some way, I think.
I mean, the same. I get where Sam was coming from with that, and I was kind of looking at it from very similar perspective of things that you can't stop yourself doing, that you want to do, whether they be like really bad things or, I don't know. I mean, none of us are that into certain things or anything, but we've all
necrophilia.
Exactly. Obsession is about necrophilia. Yes, you got it. That's what,
is that in the video?
That's what we're dancing around. That's what we're getting to.
It's all right, boys. It's all right. It's only live to everyone. This. I'm joking. No, it sounds exciting, and I get exactly what you mean. The intention's there, that you want to see the whole fucking room go when you hear this sang. So it's definitely, you picked the right BPM. It's exciting to see where that drop's going to go, because you have just teased it right where it's cutting off there, and you've given just a little bit, just enough to get everyone excited. So Friday this is coming out.
It's coming out Friday the 16th.
Have we got more teasers to be expected through the week then? Just little bits of extras?
There might be a couple of bits, I mean, the PR campaign, everything starts tomorrow, so there's interviews and things, and radio play sort of starting to kick in from next week, and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
But along with that, obviously, we're announcing a new lead guitar player, so it's a double whammy.
It's a lot.
We said whammy and a double as well.
Double whammy pedals. Cool. So this guy then, have they been in other bands? Are they just come out of the blue? Are they someone you know personally, or is it just someone, did you put a bit of a process for it?
Honestly, I feel like Aaron, I don't know if you've ever had to do this in other bands, or Neil in other bands or anything else, but it's sometimes where if somebody leaves, or you need a new guitarist or bassist or whoever, you might have somebody in mind, but you start at the top and you go, well, they'll probably say no, but let's check in and see what they'd want. This was one of those where I immediately had this person in mind, you also agreed, and we reached out and he was like,
fair enough. That's nice. That's worked out perfecely.
His name's Bobby Didcott, and he's mainly known for being in a band called Kinzoku that are based in Brighton.
Nice.
They've done a bit of touring and stuff. They played Bloodstock. He's a really nice guy. We've hung out with him like in green rooms and stuff when we shared the stage before, and because obviously, Aaron, as you know as well, like being in a band, like one of the most important things is to like be able to get on with someone and like have like a similar 100%. Sense of humour and that sort of thing. And then that was just a given. So we thought we'd ask him, and he was like, I want to play some more shows, and I've always liked your music and your band, so let's go, basically.
Nice. That's what it's out.
So
Great, guys. I'm excited for you. That's great.
Very straightforward, actually, which was quite nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost too straightforward, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly.
just like, surely this should be more complicated and really hard going, but
Yeah,
that
I
seems
think
to fall into place.
We've had enough complications with this band
just
over the
about to
years, so it's about
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
due
About time
something
something went right.
Yeah.
Nice.
exactly.
Let's all come together.
Yeah.
So I'll probably meet this guy then at Hammerdown this year, won't I? Because
Yes, you will,
we're on the same stage.
Of
Yeah.
course. It's going to be
Yeah,
mental.
I can't wait
Nice.
for that.
Have you been
Nice.
to Chalk before? In Brighton?
We played Hammerdown not last year but the year before.
Yeah,
is it the same place?
No, that was the factory.
No, that was the factory.
Okay.
That's a 300 cap venue. This is a 2,000 cap venue
Yeah.
in Brighton.
See, clearly, I know
massive.
nothing. I know zero beyond
yeah,
beyond
it's gonna-
anything.
it's
That
gonna be
sounds
good.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
we
really
played
excited.
there. We played there a few years ago. It used to be. What was it used to be called? Oh, it used to be called the Haunt in
Yeah.
Brighton. And then it had like a big refurb, and it's got like multi venues in there. So you've got the smaller venue downstairs, Dust, which again part of Hammerdown. There's going to be No Clashes bands down there in like the 120
Cool.
cap room. And then upstairs you've got the big one, and there's just like a stairway in the door. You can just walk between both.
That's fucking
that's
awesome.
handy.
That
So
sounds really
there'll be
cool.
no clashes.
I
so
don't know if they're still doing that. When I spoke to Harry, I think they might be. But anyway, you can't go between the venues. Basically, there's no clashes. I don't know if they're still doing it in the
Nice,
middle. But
nice. Oh, I'm
sure.
excited for that. That's gonna be really fun. Got some really wicked bands on for Hammerdown this year.
yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes,
it's leveled up. It's leveled up every year. It gets better. You know, it's good to
As it
see.
should, yeah. It's a great festival, and you know Harry gives loads of bands great opportunities to play some really cool venues and stuff. So
Yeah.
I just always hope
Nice.
that festival just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
good to see.
are
Really
you
good to see.
planning a particular show? Like, do you go through each? Let's say you get booked for a festival. Do you look at the festival and think, right, we're going to do this song, this song, this song. We're not going to do this song. Is that how it works?
It might start to change more like that now with more music, because we've already got more songs that we've written and recorded, and we've actually got like a bit of a plan going forward, where these songs are going to be, I suppose it's a little bit of an exclusive. They're going to be a little bit of like a collective. We're going to build like an album slowly
Wow.
over a little
brilliant.
period of time, and kind of like release some songs. We're releasing the acapellas and the instrumentals and stuff with all these, so people can see how we record from home and everything. So yeah, going forward with more music, we'll probably have more of an opportunity to swap songs around. However, the last sort of 3 years since we released Resurgence, we have kind of been playing essentially the same songs over and over again, purely because we felt that the songs on that album were kind of superior to what we'd done before. There was still a handful of older songs we were putting in the sets, but with more music, we'll be able to pick different sets a bit better.
For sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, we're always quite. I think. Determined isn't the right word, but like we'd stick to our guns in terms of depending on what festival it was or show or support slot or whatever. Like we've supported bands that are maybe lighter than us in terms of sound, in terms of heaviness, I mean, and some that are heavier. And there's certain songs like Sign of Fire, for example, is quite singy. It's got a lot of me.
Oh, yeah, when we supported Viscera
I
in
love that one.
Brighton,
Yeah.
we didn't play Sign of Fire,
Yeah. So we were like, no, we did.
did we?
We did, yeah.
I was like, because Chris went, no, we play our songs.
You said, shall we take it out because it's a bit light and people might leave? And me and Chris went, no, it's who we are. They can stand and listen to me sing.
Yeah, true. Okay.
And actually they enjoyed it. Like and like equally at these places or festivals or shows when there are heavier bands, there's still going to be people there that maybe like the lighter stuff as well, or people that have come with them. And that's usually the case. There'll be someone with someone like, this is quite a heavy show, but like, I really like you guys, and they might buy a t-shirt. Like that's why you stick to your guns and you play your sound. Like, yeah, that's what I think. But as you said, more music means more opportunities for sets. So,
To swap stuff around, yeah. We've kind of been headlining like our own shows for a long time, where we kind of play like 45 minutes to an hour. So that's kind of like locks us into a certain amount. When we've done support slots with bigger bands, when we've had like 25 minutes, half an hour, that's when we really get more picky, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Because obviously, when you're playing your own shows, it's your pick, isn't it? And you're not particularly trying to match up against any other bands or styles or anything, but I guess in festivals, it's you've got to be a bit more thoughtful, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what's next then? In between now and Hammerdown, obviously we've got a bit of time now. Have you got some stuff over the summer? Some other shows coming up?
We're playing a first-time festival in Sheffield later in the year called Novocaine.
Yes, Novocaine, yeah.
With the 500 and loads of other cool bands. Who's the other band on there that we know? We played with a lot in Banbury.
I've had a mind blank. Let me have a look.
Broken Empire.
That's the one.
Nice.
Lead singer's got an amazing mohawks, class.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about these bands that we play with that have amazing hair.
Yeah, Aaron.
But yeah, so because of the situation with Simon, it was been a bit of a long time coming, I think, where a lot of his time was being taken up with his other projects and stuff, which is absolutely fine. It just meant that we were limited to what we could do. So we haven't booked up loads for this year, which is why we've been doing new music, but we've got a load more new music coming. And as soon as we kind of get over this transition of getting Bobby in the band and everything, we can kind of crack on again. So, but we've got loads of stuff planned for next year, especially
Nice.
tours and things. And yeah, just loads of new music, and we're gonna just release them sporadically and try and do something that way, because albums are very expensive. We record everything ourselves at home, send it off to be mixed and mastered by Oz in where's he based?
Oz in Folkestone.
Yeah,
Big up Oz
Price.
Price.
yeah, because he's just class.
He's gorgeous.
Working with him on this new music's just been amazing. He's just so easy to work with, and the mixes that he sends back are just amazing. So.
What a legend.
Fucking legend.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking legend. Yeah. Sounds, you can tell, lads. The sound's always fucking, spot on. So yeah, I'm really excited now for this song on Friday. Like, Obsession's going to be, hopefully, a lot of people's new obsession. Yeah. Maybe like a fucking earworm.
I saw it coming in my
Earworm's going to be getting in there. People have got plenty of time to learn the fucking words between here and Hammerdown, haven't they? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to be dropping another song before Hammerdown as well that we've got for release.
Nice.
Just before then, which is going to be very different.
It's
And then there's one coming after that as well that's just going to be even more different. So we're kind of trying to tag these on with Parasite and have like 4 tracks of those, and then that's going to be like part 1 of something.
Oh,
Nice.
I love it. See, you're a bunch of teases. I love this.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's wearing nipple clamps underneath that Vans top.
I never take them off.
No, it doesn't.
It's how you hit the high notes.
That's it, yeah.
So, can we talk about festivals? Because obviously you headlined the Takeover last year. And Sam, you were on the panel this year.
I was.
Talk to us about being on the panel of the Takeover. I mean, it must be mind-blowing, because you see exactly the process that went to going to get you on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, if you go back to start of 2024, we didn't know we were going to be playing Download at that point, and I wouldn't have ever thought I would have been on the panel either. So yeah, it was pretty crazy series of events. But I was like, Takeover separate. We spoke about that as best gig of our lives probably so far, but the panel was just an honour as well. I was always, as soon as they said, we might have people from previous years as the panelists on the next year's lineup to decide the next year's lineup, I was straight in there. I was like, absolutely, please, love to be involved. Being asked was an honour, and having that, like, knowing how much it meant to us, and every band that's played the Takeover, Aaron, Crash My Waves included, it's an absolute honour and a privilege, and it means the world. It's literally a dream come true. So being able to pass that on to this year's lineup, it's huge. A lot of listening, a lot of tough discussions, a lot of watching videos. I just want to reiterate to anybody that did apply and is listening or could be listening. We listened to every single band again and again.
I can't imagine how much like effort it is.
I mean, Aaron
It's
knows
a lot.
as well.
There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure in there, Sam. You got people's lives and dreams and hopes in your hands, and you feel like such a dick if you don't give them the opportunity to listen for everything all the way through, or listen to all about. Like you've got to, you owe it to them, because you'd hope that, you know, when your band was in the mix, that people would give you the same time and give you the same opportunity. So, you know, not written off on looks, names, anything, just purely music. Then we look a bit deeper and wider when it starts to get quite competitive towards everyone being really good and everyone locking in. So, I definitely feel that pressure, man. I was on the panel when we decided you guys were playing. So that was really exciting, because I knew these guys. Like we did our first tour ever with Bleed Again. They took us under the wing and sort of went, this is what touring is like. I'm going, fucking hell, this is awesome. we were just in absolute awe of them. We were like, oh my god, they've got in-ears and they've got like a rig and they got like a van and stuff, and we were just in fucking awe of them. So, and they've been really nice lads. They were gorgeous lads to tour with. These you know, Sam and James, all the band, you know, been absolutely amazing. So it's nice to see you, you know, getting the recognition that you deserve, and that you know, you got that opportunity, because I knew how important it was to us, and I knew how much it meant to you as well. So when I got that sort of like fucking radiant glow over your face when you found out what you were doing,
it was just like I'll never forget,
that feeling, boys.
I'll never forget the getting the message, because I just started a new job. I think I mentioned this last time when we spoke, that I just started a new job. I'd done a training week, and I was out with a guy sort of showing me the ropes, and I just went and did like the first job of the day with him, and came out and I had the message, and he was like, "Are you all right, mate?" And I was like, "No." It's like, I need to make some phone calls.
I need some personal time.
It's just I never forget that. I mean, obviously we applied numerous years before. I think we got notified that we'd made like a top 20 or even a top 10 sort of like 2 or 3 times, going back even a few years. So to finally have got that opportunity was just it was everything. And I've only just released a recap video of it. Because it's just so busy.
It was like live footage from download. I mean, it looks incredible, but
it does actually.
There's been a lot.
It really does.
But that is one of the reasons why it was so important for. I mean, Aaron knows as well, but like taking the time to do every single band. It was our 6th year applying, and we didn't get it 5 years in a row, and then that 6th one, like the other 5, you've got to think, were we close? Maybe we weren't. Maybe we were, but. Now I've been on the panel and seen how it works. I'm like, I know we would have at least been listened to and given the chance all the other years. It's just that we were, you know, pipped to the punch, if that's the phrase. But yeah, perseverance pays off, apparently. So,
were you surprised by just how high pressure it is? Because you haven't got very long to listen to all those bands and make a decision, and you've got real life in the middle there as well. Did you feel that pressure?
I did. One of the reasons from this band, I was the one that was, I think, more likely to do it and have the time to do it, was because I worked from home. So in between meetings, it was just play, watch, and then so I was able to just do it all day essentially. So it wasn't too bad. I wasn't finishing a full 9 to 5 shift, coming home and then having to spend all evening. I was able to really, take the time to do it. But the pressure in terms of what it meant to people and having to get it right. Luckily, the panel was awesome. There's a lot of people on it, but it seems like in these situations when you submit your first maybe list of bands, you think this is my first short list. A lot of people had the same idea, so it's very vindicating. It's like, okay, cool, we're all kind of looking at the same sort of things here, which is good. So I think that first one's a little bit nerve-wracking, because I'm like, am I gonna miss the brief here completely? But no, I think the pressure to get it right is there. But no, it felt like I was more happy that I was involved, because I got to be involved in putting bands forward there to help them get that experience. So yeah.
And it's been roughly a year, 12 months since your performance. So how has life changed? What is different for you after performing at the Takeover?
All my friends and family and colleagues are really bored of hearing about it. It's become a a running joke now where
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have it as well.
have you played Download? Did you play? You barely mentioned it, did you? And I was like, it's literally in my background on my Mac here in front of me.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, every show we've played since, pretty much all of the other bands that are on the bill and like the promoter or the sound guy and stuff, they just want to talk about it.
Really?
And I'm absolutely fine with talking about it. I'll talk about it forever because I wanted it so bad, as I'm sure loads of other people did and have experienced the same thing. But I'm not going to get bored of talking about it. Obviously, we have to move on at some point. But the thing...
Never move on. No. Never let it go, man. Never. They can never take it away from us. No matter what happens. Even if we all end up homeless outside fucking Tesco with a cardboard thing, we can go, we fucking played Download, motherfuckers, and it was the best day of our lives. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, when we came home and everything, and we sort of released some clips and stuff, like we started getting a lot of like gig offers and things, but unfortunately like I said before, with Simon's restrictions, we were quite limited to what we could take. So we've been quite picky. But one of the other highlights last year was when we went off to Belgium in July, the month after. Yeah. And we sort of headlined, there's a thing over there called 6K Fest. It was a religious holiday. So the streets were just rammed full of people, and there's like this hostel that's got like a square courtyard, and they put you in there, and there's about 500-600 people. But that was weird because there was lots of people from Belgium that knew like lyrics to our songs and stuff, screaming them in our face that me and Sam have written in our me in my third bedroom here,
Sat right here,
which is quite nice. So there was lots of highlights last year, and yeah, it's just we're trying to be a bit more picky with stuff that we do, and not because we've travelled up and down the country doing sort of weekend headliner tours since 2015. We did our first one, and then it wasn't until after we released our first album 2017, and we just kind of did it non-stop. And then we kind of found that it's great fun and everything, but around like responsibilities and personal life and stuff, it's not always beneficial, especially financially and things like that. So we're trying to be a bit more picky with what we take up, not do so much of the sporadic random touring, but do more bits and pieces here and there sort of thing, and drop in new music. And we've concentrated more on social media, I suppose, like how bands evolve over the, with technology and stuff. So
yeah, I think that's one thing that we always, or like not always, but like it's quite difficult having always just played shows, and that's how you get bigger. You play a weekend here, you play like three shows, you go home, you work. A couple of weeks later, you do the same again. Whereas there's other bands that are uploading like content all the time, and they're getting hundreds more followers, like and interactions, and that apparently is what counts now, like, supposedly. So I think but for us, the live show will never be topped. Like that's the most important thing ever. And we know, like if we can get the content nailed down, like Crushed by Waves are incredible live as well. If you could also just run it there. If you can get like, which you guys do, like you'll know, if you get the content up there, the live show's already there. If you can get the content up there as well, it's a match made in heaven. It's when bands have the content and maybe they don't play live quite as often. So then when they do, they'll probably have loads of people turn up because they've been promoting it incredibly well because they're brilliant at it. But yeah, we're trying to be a lot smarter with that sort of thing. As you say, more picky with shows. Like we don't need to play Worthing 5 times in a month, for example.
It's tricky though, because as a band,
sorry Worthing, if you were planning around that,
I live in Worthing. It's okay, I can say it.
You want to concentrate on the music, don't you, and making sure that the actual product, the actual reason that you're all together as a band is worth listening to, and it's the best music that you can make with the best product. And social media it shouldn't be as important as it is. It's certainly not what you really want to concentrate on.
No, I mean,
but you have to.
Yeah, I mean, so much of I don't personally have a lot of spare time in my private life at all, but you have to make time for it. You have to do this stuff. I don't know if... I think it probably has benefited doing this because we're seeing lots of new faces turn up to places. We did we played an acoustic show, our first ever acoustic show earlier in the year in Brighton. I'm not much of a singer. Obviously, Sam's got a great singing voice. I do a little bit of singing.
Stop it.
But I wanted
He does.
But
I've seen it.
Sam got the opportunity to go and do that. And then he sort of said to the rest of us, like, does anyone else want to be involved with it? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he gave the opportunity. He said, yeah, come on, let's do it together. So then we sort of did some bits, and I was petrified because I do the heavy stuff.
I've never seen you so scared. Download, you were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, you were like, it was like a room of maybe, 100 people?
Yeah,
maybe. And you were just like, oh, I'm terrified. Because I guess it's just coming out of your comfort zone, isn't it? Like you're used to being Mr. Shouty Pants.
Yeah.
You had to be Mr.
But like,
Shouty Pants.
but loads.
Mr. Shouty Pants should be on your name, James.
Well,
Got a t-shirt, merch done.
I saw a photo the other day, actually. Our previous drummer, Russell Plowman, has sadly passed away. But when I was recording back with him, whenever he's putting the vocal tracks into Cubase, he always used to call me Mr. Screamy Angry Pants.
Yeah, there you go.
The angry side subsided. You've played download now. He's chilled out a bit. So now he's just Mr. Shouty Pants.
Yeah.
But we noticed, even with the acoustic show, that there was a lot more people there that we had a really large crowd, arguably the largest crowd of the day, which was quite surprising. We weren't headlining or anything. But there was lots of people that hadn't seen us. Well, I hadn't seen them before at a show, but they knew words to. Well, Sign of Fire was obviously one that we put in. They were singing along to that. Lots of people wanted to talk to us afterwards. Social media went crazy with followers after that. Even like London a couple of weeks ago, we headlined up at the Voodoo Rock Club night in London, and there was so many people there again that obviously we'd never seen before, and loads of people again knew lyrics to the songs, and we hadn't played London for years.
Yeah.
So I mean, things do seem to be sort of changing in that sense.
Yeah.
Rather than, like I said, trudging up and down the country all the time and just putting stuff out on social media, it seems to be working in that way.
I think people look at your band differently after you've done something like Download. I think you get a different vibe, a different I guess feel to the band. My barber, actually, funnily enough, said to me he'd heard Bleed Again years ago, and then he was like, you kind of just like, you listen to a band, and we all know it's like, you listen to a band and you go, that's what they sound like. And then years pass, and that's what they sound like, what I first listened to. And then, he did say to me, he was like, look, sorry, but I didn't really listen to you. And then I saw you got Download, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I'll give them a listen, like, because it almost makes people. This is what he said.
It's like you're checking a box just like to get someone's attention.
Yeah, but it was like he's like, wow, okay, they must be doing something special, and then he went back and listened to our newer stuff since, and he was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize like you'd changed or maybe improved. I don't know. But he didn't say before we were shit or anything. But like, yeah,
it's true. It's true, man. It's good. It's good that you got that sort of validation, because like normally, if you're in a band or you're writing music, it's just like you're going, oh yeah, we're good. You should probably come and listen to us. You have to take my word for it that we're not shit, basically. But when someone has played Download, you've basically got that authenticity of, well, clearly. They're not that shit, because other people thought they were that good that they needed to be on a massive stage and in front of a load of people and playing at one of the major festivals of this country. So you have got that validation behind you, and it is a box tick, so to speak, in everyone's heads of like, well, they must be really good, because if they thought they were good enough, I should probably check them out and I should probably give them that time, that's the thing, which is good.
With the takeover lineups every year, the lineups are incredible. And considering, obviously, hearing from Sam this year how difficult the process was to pick the bands, there's so many incredible bands across the country, and you can. How many slots is it? 5 or 6?
6 this year.
5 or 6 this year.
Is it 6?
I think
it's small.
The year it was Crushed by Waves, it was 5, but then we moved to 6 the years after.
Lucky number, baby. Come on. It is my lucky number. I didn't get that tattooed ahead of this podcast, by the way.
Just that bit.
Yeah. I didn't draw it on with biro as you were saying it. Just then. But it is my lucky number.
I can't imagine how difficult it is just to select just those. There's so many bands,
isn't it? It's wild.
But there's
you're very lucky, but also
so many
very
good
good.
Bands as well.
Yeah, it's not just luck. It is purely down to you were the strongest band of that entire hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bands who are all fantastic in their own way and at different stages of their career or wherever it is that they're doing. It just happened that you had the best of the lot of them, and that should feel special, and you should hold on to that memory, and you should be proud of that, and be proud of it forever. It doesn't have a time limit. Obviously family and friends will be fucking sick of hearing it, but just have that, have that in your hearts, that you sort of validate yourself, because there is times of doubt, and I know that comes times of, should we still be doing this? Are we doing the right thing? Are we writing the right music? Blah blah blah. But just have that in the back of your mind that we're fucking clearly on the right path here and we're doing the right thing. So that's good to keep that in mind.
We wanted to use obviously that last year as a big stepping stone. But yeah, like I mentioned a couple of times, we were still quite limited with what we can do, but now we don't have those limitations. That's kind of why I've left releasing that video of the live stuff until like this week. I'm trying to build up a bit of a thing going on social media to get that going, and obviously announced a new single. Yeah. It's coming up to download this year, so it kind of ties in. So it might be a year late, but we're still trying to use that as a stepping stone to push on. We don't necessarily have those restrictions anymore, so hopefully with this new music, this single, and then the next couple that we've got coming out as well, people should be very much on board with us, hopefully.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're not currently on board with Bleed Again, make sure you...
all aboard.
All aboard the Bleed Again train! So, go and look for them, go and follow them, go and buy their stuff. Bleed Again have their new track, Obsession, coming out Friday the 16th of May. And plenty of shows coming up and stuff to see them at. And there's music to listen to. There's so much coming up, and we're looking forward to hearing it all. Thanks so much for joining us again, Bleed Again, which, it's great to see you guys. Great to see you doing well.
Appreciate it. Very much appreciate your time, both of you.
I look forward to seeing both of you beautiful boys, and Bobby. I'll meet him at Hammerdown.
Yes. That's going to be so much fun, mate.
Oh, and
can't wait.
And congrats on the download slot, by the way. I saw that you're on stage.
Thanks very much.
That's amazing.
We're talking about download. We're like,
you haven't even mentioned it.
We're actually going to download this year.
Yeah.
Go on, you're playing it.
Fucking, let's do it again, baby. Woo.
Yeah. RIP Courtyard stage on that Thursday, about 2:00. If you can't make it, don't worry, we will be filming it.
Yeah. That's
cheers,
exciting.
Guys. Thanks so much.
See you later. Cheers, boys. Bye. See you soon. Bye.
So great chat with the Bleed Again boys, and really looking forward to that track there, Obsession, which is coming out very soon.
Wholesome content, that beautiful.
Can't wait for that they've got so much planned, and I'd like to see that for them.
Yeah. I can't wait to see who this Bob is.
It's going to be amazing.
Bob the Battle Axe Bob.
Yes.
Bob the build-up. That's what I'm getting. I need to know what's going on. And I love Simon as well. Absolute fucking legend. Such a nice guy. But, he has got other commitments. He's on with Stephen Akira, isn't he? So he's clearly a busy boy. And, it's nice that, both bands can now continue to flourish and continue to grow. Everyone wins. Everyone's happy. Bob's happy, hopefully.
Members change, but we all carry on.
We pursue it.
Yes. So, next up, we are going to be chatting to Hammerdown Harry from Hammerdown Festival. Right after this.
Let's go, Harry boy.
Hi, I'm Mark, guitars and synths in TheFiveHundred.
I'm Andy, bassist in TheFiveHundred.
You're listening to FestPod. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for that last-minute festival essential? Or maybe you just want to travel light and get your whole camping setup when you arrive on site? The good news is that Fat Frank's Camping Shop will take care of all your festival camping essential needs. From camping chairs to blow-up airbeds, cosy duvets to festival cooking sets, Fat Frank has it all. And what's more, Fat Frank offers a click and collect service at several UK festivals. So head to fatfrankscampingshop.com to order now, or visit Fat Frank and the lads at your favourite festival. Fat Frank's Camping Shop, the official sponsors of FestPod, the unofficial rock festival guide.
Welcome back to FestPod, the unofficial rock festival guide, which is today, it's our interview episode. We don't do many interview episodes, but when we do, we like to just go all in, and let's do 2 at a time, baby.
That's back to back here, like Charlie's Angels. Gonna interview the fucking lot of you. Everyone's getting interviewed. There's a queue at the door here. We're going all in. We like a good interview. I like talking to people. We do,
well, it's ideal. For FestPod, we're getting those details from the people who actually run the festivals.
Yeah, origin stories. That's what we need. Origin. Do you know what I mean? You know when they do these remakes of like Batman and stuff, you want to know where he came from. Yeah, all right, he's Batman, but where the fuck did he start? Does he have a mug on the draining board as well? I want to know the gritty details. I want to know the human sides of these rock stars and these wonderful people making festivals and stuff. And
that's what we're doing. So let's take a train. Let's buy our tickets and walk up to Piccadilly Station and get on a train headed southbound to Worthing to meet Mr. Hammerdown Harry.
Boom! That was quick. We made it. Best train ever.
Welcome to FestPod. Nice to see you again. Hope things are well down there in Worthing.
All good here. It's very sunny. It's very hot, actually. It's a lovely day.
Oh,
gorgeous.
We're getting festival vibes now from the weather, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's been the loveliest April. Everybody talks about April showers. We haven't seen it. It's been lovely. It's been great. It's been such a nice month. And now,
cut to April showers, thunderstorms, fucking lightning, trees falling over.
yeah. We seem to have got away with it. I don't know if that means the actual festival season is going to just be awful for weather, but I really hope.
Don't say that, please no. Please no, please. Oh, to the rock gods, let the good weather continue.
Yeah, no mud this year, please.
No mud, please. Por favor.
But of course, there won't be mud at Hammerdown.
It has a roof. It's an intuitive idea. We fixed one of those above us.
Genius.
And it's also got a floor, which means the mud thing, and it's in what's called a city, and that means there's concrete all around, so there isn't any mud on the exterior of the venue either.
Nice.
I like this idea, actually.
Keep your leather pants dry, Neil. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
I like it. These are first world problems, and you start thinking about logistics of shows and stuff. It's good. It is.
Open air will be one day. That is a goal of mine. So I'm not just taking the mickey.
In addition, or as well, or
no, upgrade it. I mean, Bloodstock started indoors, right? So eventually, that is the goal for us to go open air. Hammerdown open air sounds sick. So,
yeah, it does sound good, man. Wow. I want 2 giant fucking hammers, fucking.
Yeah, as you walk under them in the,
man.
And then what will happen is loads of West Ham fans will accidentally buy tickets, and then by the time you get there, it's too late because there's no refunds. So I make loads more money.
Yeah, and I can come dressed as Thor that year because it'd be fucking totally acceptable.
You've got the hammer.
I have got the hammer. Yeah.
Well, we've got. Have you ever seen our prop wall hammers? We've got massive. There's one on top of my bed, on top of my wardrobe over there.
Fuck yeah, man! I mean, I'm gonna think for hammers now. I think I think it's a great festival name, and it will definitely look good as an open air festival with giant fucking hammers, and it'll attract the right crowd, man. That'll be really cool. So it's exciting. Where did Hammerdown start? What was the first variation or incarnation of the festival? Was it the one that we played, or was that before then? Or
long time, 10 years ago now. So this is actually this is our 10th anniversary technically, but I'm not really counting it as a 10th anniversary because the first one was called a different name. So the first in the series, I suppose, which me and my friend Bradley started. It was called Pitch Up Festival, and we had 10 bands. It was just one day in a village hall in the middle of nowhere, so nobody came. It was the worst location for it you could possibly imagine. The only bits you can still find on like our Facebook page, if you scroll right back to the beginning, are all of these photos of very obviously a village hall with these horrific checkered red and white curtains behind the band performing. So all of the photos are just ruined by those awful curtains. So that was the first. Do either of you remember a band called Empire, with the eyes and exclamation mark upside down? Vocalist called Joe Green. They did Downloads 2015. They're so good. They were excellent. I'll have to send you some stuff. I think Joe's got one of the best voices I've ever heard in my life. Wow. It's just outstanding. And they headlined the first one. I saw them at Download a few months before, and I was like, I'd like them. So got in touch, made it happen, and that was the very first one. But so the reason I don't really count it as 10 years because it wasn't called Hammerdown that year, and then obviously COVID happened, so it was a few years out. So it's actually only our 7th festival, despite us being around for 10 years. So
Sound, man. Sound. Where are we starting this? Where are we starting it from then? Where's our first iteration of Hammerdown then that we're having as like the starting point?
So the following year was called Hammerdown. I changed. So we had Pitch Up Festival. Bradley moved on to do other things, went to uni and stuff. So I was left to decide whether or not I was going to do it again. So I wanted to call it a new name. I wanted something more metal. I wasn't really overly enamoured by the name the first time, and I couldn't think of anything for ages. And I remember I was walking to work. I used to work at KFC. It was my first job, and I was walking to KFC, and a Nickelback song came on, which is called "The Hammer's Coming Down." It's a great song, and I was like, "Oh, Hammerdown! That sounds like a rock festival."
That does sound like a rock festival.
And I was looking it up. You know, there was Hammerfest. Obviously, there was other things that were sort of similar-ish, but there was no Hammerdown Festival. And I went, right, I'm having it. And then that was the first one. Was 2016. So I would have come up with that in like November or December 2015, and then created that for the following year. Yeah,
love that. Man with a dream, man with an idea. Yeah. I've got a good name. It's coming. This is all we need.
Exactly. We had something to build from there.
I like it, man. Yeah,
you can't underestimate the importance of a good name for a festival. I think you're so right. You need to find something that sounds right and it is memorable and is unique and will carry you through the years. And I think you've done well there.
Thank you. Well, do you know what? That's actually, I appreciate that. And we took our break over COVID and stuff, and it was actually a lot longer break than we wanted it to be. And when we came back, we had this choice of, well, look, nobody remembers it anyway because it was a really small thing pre-COVID. So do we bother keep it? And we thought the name was so strong and that it could really hold some history one day that we decided to stick with it rather than doing a rebrand, because it wouldn't have, other than the name itself actually being decent, it would have made no difference if in 2022 we had a completely different festival or the name Hammerdown, because nobody remembered it anyway. I mean, it was nobody came the first few times. So, I think you're right. Hopefully the name will stand the test of time. Let's see. But yeah.
100%.
So there's been quite a evolution, hasn't there, of Hammerdown? Yeah. I mean, from village halls to a huge venue in is it Brighton? Have you not? Is it still in Brighton?
Yeah. So it's Chalk. Chalk is the main stage, and then the people who own Chalk also own another venue in the same building underneath called Dust. So that's our second stage. That's a 200 cap. The big one is an 850 cap. That's where you are, Aaron, this year.
Hey, we've played again. Let's go, baby.
So that's where it is this year. So Central Brighton, we've done it in a few locations. My heart is in Sussex. I want to stay in Sussex forever, but it's been in a few different locations. So first one was in Dane Hill, that random village. 16 and 17 were in Burgess Hill. 18 and then 22 and 23, where you last played, Aaron, were all Worthing. And then 24 and now this year 25 is Brighton. So we've always been in Sussex in various places, as we've sort of grown up to bigger venues.
Nice. I feel like we're watching history in the making this. Like, what I mean? I'm sure Bloodstock look back on the early start of their festivals and they go, I remember when we used to play that village hall, you know what I mean? And then, do you know what I mean? And then it is literally like real time watching this grow, like maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, we look back at this and you look at this iteration of what, Hammerdown is now, and then fuck me, you could be literally like the biggest open air festival, side by side with Bloodstock and Download and these huge festivals, like, and it's a very realistic possibility that is the trajectory of this festival, and the watching the growth and your passion in this, you're heavily invested, you haven't taken your foot off the pedal, and you are so compelling, like, you know what you want, you know what your dream is and what your passion is, and you quite clearly got your target focused on this goal, and there's nothing stopping you, mate. It's happening. So it's really nice, mate. You look after bands, you speak to us all really well, look after people from every perspective, so I like what you're doing and I support you doing. I'm really happy to be part of it, mate, and I'm glad to be back. So I'm looking forward to this year.
Oh, mate, that means a lot. It really does. And we do work hard, and it's not just me. There's a whole team of us now it was just me a few years ago, but now there's loads of us, and hopefully, I mean, that's the goal. Like when I first started it, and obviously we're still a million miles away, but I wanted to create a download of the South. That was like the thing I used to say to myself, let's get a download of the South going on in Sussex. And, we're one step closer this year. We've got 2 stages. That's cool. Give us another 5 years and we'll be open air, and maybe there'll be 3 stages. Who knows? Like that. It's all in the goals. We've got a roadmap. We've stuck to it. We just got to keep driving, because it's people like when you say things like that, it really does mean a lot, and it's we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have as much encouragement and support as we do. Like, I would have given up a long time ago if people didn't, like it and believe in it, and that's really kind. So thank you.
So this year, it's a different proposition, isn't it? We've got 2 stages.
Yeah.
We've got a lot. That means a lot more bands to book.
Yeah.
Who is it that looks at the bands in your team? It's not just you, is it?
No, it's not just me. I do the primary booking and sort of shape what the lineup's going to look like, because until you've got, like I'm getting approached now by smaller bands for 2026 who are like, are you booking yet? And I say no, because I have no idea what the top half of my bill is going to look like yet. So I can't begin to shape what the bill generally will be until I've got a headliner there on the Saturday. Maybe I've got a Sunday second stage headliner. I've got 2 bands that I'm getting off of one agent to be on the top of the second stage on the Saturday. And once I've got like a structure, then I can start to plan what subgenres are going to fit, and the variety that I can have, and start to say, okay, well, those heavier bands that are contacting, they would fit better on the Sunday there. So I can at least find out if, okay, you're not free on the Saturday, it's probably not going to work next year, then let's chat, in the future, whatever. So, but I can't do any of that until I get that structure. So my job is to sort out the top half of the bills on both stages and get, and I take, the team suggests loads of stuff, but I do the bookings. And then after that, especially when we get into the nitty gritty of bands opening the stages, the online competition that we do, there's a whole team of us to do that. There's 3 or 4 of us that are way more involved in that part of it. Yeah.
Wow. It must be. Actually, I can't really imagine it. As we've talked about before on FestPod, we dream of putting a festival on, and I can't really imagine what it must be like to do this like full time.
I tell you what, I found it easier this year with 2 stages, because I don't have to be horrible and say no to so many people. For real though, like I've got more autonomy to do some favours for people that have looked after me over the years or whatever. Like when you've only got the 20 slots that I had the previous few years, and okay, it's not like there were hundreds of bands asking me in the early days, but in the early days it was like 10, 12 slots, so it's really hard. But now, the last couple of years as it's really grown, there's been so many bands asking, and that's amazing. It's a great problem to have. I love listening to everybody and going through them all. That's brilliant. It's lovely. But there's 20 spaces. So now we've almost doubled that. It's 36 bands playing this year. And that means, a promoter that's done me a favour, whose band wants to play or whatever. Like I've got a bit more freedom for it to not be so sort of strict. Like, it's been lovely. It's been really, really nice. And it's not, there's been examples this year, which I've never done before. It's usually fully booked until about September, by about September for the following year. This year, although it was mostly fully booked, I kept a couple of slots in the bank in case of occasions where I'd been really drunk and I'd promised people slots, which happens a lot. I'm always a man of my word, or in case anybody crops up and they're like, oh, they just happen to be amazing and I want to give them a slot, whatever. So there's been more room to play with. It's been easier booking more bands, which is going to sound sort of counterintuitive, but yeah.
That's nice. So when you're opener then, mate, Crushed by Waves, and just need to take you on a big piss up and just get you fucking smashed, and
you know what? And I do this, and then I get sent it in the morning. So what happens is I'll be at a gig and I'll be like, oh yeah, your band's sick. Yeah, you can play my festival, and they're like, oh yeah, cool, great. I'm like, just make sure before I go tonight, take a video of me saying it so I don't forget. And then in the morning I get sent this video of me and be like, your band's fucking great. You can come play my festival.
Oh,
that's
amazing.
More than one. That is a thing.
It wasn't us, by the way. We never did that to Harry.
No. Absolutely not. Not you. I'd also never say who that was because I want to embarrass them. Like they've all earned their place.
Yeah, never reveal it. Yeah. Eyes around the green room going, which one of us was it? Who got Harry pissed? Amazing.
So talk us through the lineup then. Who are we going to see this year?
Okay, so where to begin? So headliners, we wanted to do. There's the new wave of British heavy metal is something that I'm really passionate about at the moment. Is having I guess just to be realistic, a final resurgence. These are all bands from the late 70s, early 80s that changed and shaped a lot of the music that we all listened to. The new wave of British heavy metal, bands like Venom spawned off black metal. A lot of the faster new wave of British heavy metal spawned thrash, and Metallica themselves openly say it's all thanks to those bands like Diamond Head and whatever that set them off from their success. So I wanted to book some of those bands and say I've been a tiny part of that story before they're not around anymore. So Tigers of Pantang, I mean, we were honoured to work with them at the factory in April as well in Worthing, which Aaron, you played a few years ago, and they're so cool. They're so good live. They're outstanding. They're the nicest people. I was having a chat to their manager and I was just saying, I'm so pleasantly surprised about how nice they are. And he said, Harry, they're just way too old for egos. They're so chilled out. And it was such a nice sentiment. It's like, they're not, in their early 20s thinking they're, Billy Big, whatever. They were the most sound people ever. And we've got another band from that era called Demon, so I'm really excited for them. So that's the Saturday. So the Saturday I'd say is probably more rocky, traditional heavy metal. And then on the Sunday we've got a little more of the alternative stuff. And that's never really happened before, and that wasn't really intentional. It just fell in that way from when the bands were free and stuff. But the Sunday's definitely the heavier day. We've got the Raven Age headlining it with Dream State as main support, which is going to be sick. Yeah. I mean, Dream State. So that would be great. Obviously, we've got Crushed by Waves Bleed Again. That would be really, really cool. I love In Search of Sun. They're amazing. And then we've got on the second stage, particularly on the Sunday, we've got like a really stacked, heavy lineup. We booked. We really, really wanted, after seeing some performances on YouTube from Raised by Owls, particularly the Bloodstock main stage one, I was like, I've got to get these guys.
Funny. We interviewed them, didn't we? Right. And they are literal comedians. Like, actually, I mean, literally, the front man is a comedian, so that makes sense. But just as the nicest bunch of guys, but they are, like, as they appear in their social media posts, I'm laughing just talking about it, like, this is the conversation we were having. But we interviewed them at Bloodstock, and as they appear on social media, is exactly how they are, just sitting on a bench talking to each other. They are. It's just beyond me. I was just watching real-time comedy, and it was just a real pleasure to be around. But band-wise and musically, they are fantastic. They're so good. They're so good. But I've got such a soft spot for them. I love them to pieces.
Well, and that, it's that side of them which sets them apart in that level of heaviness for just being so much fun. There aren't that many bands who are that heavy and that fun, right? So, but then booking them, obviously that shapes that second stage on that day to naturally be far heavier. So there's some brutal stuff on that day. So it's just worked out that way. So we've got, I'd say, if you're more into your rock music, go to the Saturday. If you're more into the really heavy stuff, come on the Sunday. And if you want a whole weekend and you enjoy various forms of rock and metal music, come to both. What I'd say.
Wow. Definitely do that. Do both.
Yes.
So, for anybody who hasn't been to Hammerdown before, let's say they bought a weekend ticket. How much are they going for, by the way?
Weekends are 65. Day tickets are 40 English pounds.
See, that's a bargain.
That is a bargain, people. Please, that is such a bargain. These bands are incredible, and like even just going and seeing like one or two of these bands in their own, like a lot of these bands can headline, major venues in major cities. So like seeing all of these incredible bands under one roof over the course of a weekend, I couldn't think of a better way to spend my time or my money, to be honest. So even if I wasn't playing this festival, that was
awesome. Why I started a festival, because of the value of festivals generally. Like, download might be 300 quid or whatever it is now, but you still get to see an insane amount of bands for that. Bands that you pay 60 quid a pop to go and see on their UK tour, But a lot of bands are from the States, and so when they come over, you're going to pay 60 quid to see them. So you do that 5 times, you've spent your 300 quid. Whereas if you go to download, when I go to download, I push myself to as many bands as possible. I saw 52 bands one year.
Wow. Do you wear trainers as well as a suit, or are you still wearing smart shoes and still sprinting between stages?
Well, no, I wear the suit and I wear wellies.
Okay, that's a combo. I like it. Yes. That's a combo.
That's
good grip on a welly, actually. You've got quite a bit of tread going on there.
Prevents the mud on the bottom part of the trousers. Very important.
Of course, it is important.
Yeah. So I mean, that was an intense. I can't remember what year that was. I wasn't wearing a suit back then. That was a long time ago. That was when I was, still basically a child. But yeah, I saw 52 bands that year. It was mental. Wow. And you're not, for whatever it was at the time, 250 and 220 quid, something like that. I mean, that's unbelievable value, and it's the same with any festival. Not, forget Hammerdown for a second, same with everyone. But yes, at Hammerdown, there's no clashes. Not many people are going to watch all 36 bands because they want to go and eat and they're going to want to go on the beach for an hour or whatever, unless it's raining. But even so, even if you see 15, 20 bands, you're going to get outstanding value compared to going to see in the headline show. So yeah, I mean, it's just a no-brainer to me.
No-brainer. Makes sense to me, Harry. I think that's a fucking bargain. Beautiful.
It is though, because I mean, if you're staying over, let's say you're not from the area and you're coming from further afield, you'll probably want to stay in a hotel, perhaps a bed and breakfast. You'll most likely pay more for that than you will for the ticket for the whole 100%. Weekend to get into Hammerdown.
Yeah, very true. We've got this year, which we never really had before. Last year we had our first taste of people travelling from other countries, which was kind of cool. Yeah, we had a couple come over from Dublin last year, and then at our winter festival we had a couple of people from Dublin as well, different people. But this year we've got some people from Ireland again, but we've also got people from Germany coming.
Nice.
It's really
Germans
cool.
love heavy music, man. It's a fact. That is everything I'm learning from going on tour and going into shows and doing things. It's like Germans love heavy music. That is a fact. Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's anything heavy, and a lot of Eastern Europe as well, Poland in particular, heavy electronic stuff, like, dubstep and really intense drum and bass, just anything heavy, not just metal, but anything really, really aggressive is what they're into, isn't it?
So as the festival is for the weekend, we thought about things like merch. Is there going to be like a Hammerdown exclusive like shirt with like the lineup on it? Is there going to be? I love those things.
Yes. Yeah, there's lineup tees. We've just yesterday got the final designs back and they're sick. So we're doing so people will be able to pre-order them as well. They're probably on sale in the next week or two. We've got lineup tees with 2 different designs. They look wicked. Nice. We've got what else? We've got loads of patches. We've got bottle openers and coasters and hip flasks and lighters and...
Fuck yeah, man. We know our audience here, Harry. We know we will. Give the people what they want, man. Come on. More patches, please.
Yeah, patches. Yeah. Well, I need my own jacket, so I've got to keep putting different Hammerdown over here.
Nah, I love it.
So, it's we've got a lot of stuff. The T-shirts I'm really proud of this year. I think they're the coolest designs we've had. So,
I want one of those immediately. You've already sold this. You've already sold one, Harry. You know you've got one sold. It's in the bag.
Excellent.
I want one of those. Yeah.
99 more.
And then food-wise, talk to me about food. Me and Neil, we're all obsessed when we go to festivals. We go to Bloodstock, we go to Down, we go to, Radar, everywhere. We're looking for something to eat in between.
Yeah.
Smashing our heads together with other people and bouncing around a pit. We're going to need to get those electrolytes back. We're going to need to get some energy in the tank so we can go again.
So the last couple of years, we've had food trucks and stuff that we've brought onto site or whatever. We don't have like a courtyard or anything this year. So what I've done instead is I've gone round literally the street outside because there's loads of food places, and I've been negotiating with different food places to give Hammerdown people discounts. So we've got one place called Box Shop. This is an exclusive because it's not announced yet, but we've sorted the deal out.
Nice.
Box Shop is like Korean fried chicken, and it's outrageous. I went there. Yeah, it's so good.
Come on now, Harry. Keep it clean, mate. This is before Watershed, all right? Could be kids watching this. That dirty talk.
Oh, yeah.
Box Shop will do 10% for anybody with a Hammerdown wristband. Obviously, you know, all the bands and stuff will have lanyards and whatever, so don't worry, Aaron, you will still be able to partake.
Like, where's my Korean chicken, motherfucker?
And that place, I mean, it's literally, you come out of Dust, which is the second stage. So chalk sort of around the corner there, walk round to Dust, and then it's literally opposite. It's the other side of the road. It's like it's there.
Very accessible.
They're very accessible. We're going to be doing several other ones locally as well. They've got veggie options, vegan options, everything sorted, which is great. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of stuff around. So what we're going to try and create basically around the venue itself, it will just be buzzing because there'll be metalheads everywhere, eating, drinking, in and out of the venue, watching bands on the beach. Yeah, just ruining everybody else's afternoon.
Love it. Goths and metalheads everywhere, just fucking taking over.
Scaring the locals. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Love that.
Wow. This sounds amazing. I can't wait because we're going to be there.
Yes.
As
the first time, which is so cool. Yeah. Buzzing.
Yes. Do you know, it's something, I love going to festivals for the first time. There's so many festivals I've still yet to get to. And yours is one of them. And I can't wait because, I mean, it's just, just talking about it, I get in the mood for being at a festival. And, obviously seeing the amazing lineup that you've got. It is a great lineup this year.
Thank you.
It's so great. It really is.
I am. Oh, sorry. No, go on. Finish.
No, that's all. Go on.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, it is a lineup I'm super proud of. Obviously my job is to sell it every year, so I should say this, but it is my favourite lineup ever. Like I'll be honest, my favourite lineup was 2022, which was our comeback year. We had some really special shows that year. Bands doing their last ever show. Like we did a couple of things that some bands who were fading out because of COVID never got to do like a farewell show or anything, and they were some of my favourite bands. And so two bands did their last ever show at 2022. So that year sort of held a special place for me, but I think this year is by some way my favourite ever lineup, and I can't wait for it. I mean, it's just going to be mental. So I mean,
because I always have a look at the photos, the videos that you take of the event, and I'm just thinking, you just want to be there. It's just you do a great job of capturing that atmosphere in those pictures and those videos. It's just something I'm really looking forward to.
That's one thing we try and do. We hire a whole photography team ourselves, so we don't have people there charging for the photos. We've got a whole crew, and all the bands have access to all of that stuff. Well, I've already paid for it, so there's all of the bands will get whatever cool content they want. And then, look, in my opinion, that's an investment because everybody's going to share that stuff. There aren't going to be bands walking away going, "Oh, we didn't bring our photographer, so we didn't get any content." All of the bands will be posting stuff. That's 36 times more engagement, isn't it? So it's far better if we sort it all out for everybody else, and then you all just come and have a great time.
I like the way you think.
Loving that. Love it. No, it'll be well documented and it'll be well enjoyed by all. I'm sure everyone is going to have such an amazing time. This year, lineup-wise, the food already got me going. Everyone will be wearing those nice lineup tees, picking up all the merch. And generally just being part of something which I think is special and I think is definitely on the right trajectory, and certainly something where the people are going to look back on this 10 years time, 15 years time, and be like, fucking hell, Hammerdown started there, and look at it now, it's fucking huge. And I can't wait to see where this goes. Honestly, I think I remember saying this last time, and I've seen the growth. I'm witnessing it. And it's like, you watch a plant grow and it doesn't grow instantly. It's never going to go from here to fucking huge outdoor festival. But that period of growth, people stick with it if people do invest their time and their money. And I couldn't think of a better way to do both of those two things. If they do continue to do that and they do continue to support this lineup, support this festival, then they themselves will have created their own festival that they want to see. If you want to see Hammerdown in an open thing, and they want to have these huge bands or great bands play it, well, then just keep supporting it and keep pushing it, and you will create your own festival by supporting it.
Yeah, it's so true. I say that all the time because there's such a Hammerdown community now, and that's what anybody coming for the first time. There's just this buzz around, this sense of community and family and catching up with. I mean, I do all my work throughout the year, so I can just have a beer and just chill out for the weekend. I know I'm still running around doing interviews and whatever, but really I'm there just to enjoy myself for the weekend, and it's with all of the people they create it. Obviously, I can't grow it without there being a need to grow it. So I can't be in an 850 cap venue without there being 200 of you watching Aaron a few years ago in 2023. Like, we can't do that, you know? So it's only down to people supporting it that means that it can grow and get better, just logically, you know? And from a morale point of view, you know, I've only got the drive and the determination and the motivation and to get a bigger lineup and a bigger venue for everybody that comes, because of how positive everybody reacts to it and how nice everybody is and supportive. So that's all about what it is. That's all it is.
Love that. We all want the same thing. We all just want to have an amazing time. We all want to go. We all want to watch cool rock bands play on cool stages and enjoy a nice festival. That's all of us really want. So, like, let's just do that. Let's just do that. It's that simple. Yeah.
Exactly.
I do think it's. I just want to mention as well. I do think it's great that you're holding the festival where you are holding the festival. I like to see festivals being a bit more spread out, because it is quite Midlands centric.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you know, geographically that makes sense, right? Because I haven't got many people travelling from the sea, whereas in the Midlands you've got people travelling from either side of you. I don't have an either side. I've only got people coming from up.
Yes,
the sea exists, so it's probably a bad place to put it, but whatever. No, you're absolutely right. Like, it is nice to see a spread, because they're. I do agree. I think more of the big ones are up north. We've got Takedown in Pompey, obviously. We've got Made of Stone in Kent, and Burn It Down in Plymouth. But there's certainly a lot more in the Midlands and up north. I mean, there's just so many. So it is nice to have something down here, and we've sort of got our own space. You know, there's other small festivals that sort of work alongside us that we're very close with, that do other stuff in Sussex, but not on the scale that we're doing them yet. So we've sort of got our own playing field. We haven't really got you know, a lot of other competition within Sussex. So that's sort of our little patch, I suppose, for now. Until Live Nation come along with something huge, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nice.
Please don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, exactly. So we're all looking forward to seeing Hammerdown. Just give us a quick reminder of where to go for tickets and how much they're going to cost us.
Okay, so you can get tickets via hammerdownfestival.co.uk. That's a new website that we've launched, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anything you like. Tickets for a day pass are £40 for either day. For weekend, it's 65 quid. On either day, there are 18 bands, 2 stages, so 9 bands per day, 36 bands for the weekend. And it's probably going to be all right, actually.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be absolutely amazing. So if you aren't spending your 60 odd quid, what the fuck are you actually doing with your life? And please come and see those bands this week on that weekend, because it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best time. I can't wait, mate. I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
So it's July the 19th and 20th.
Oh, yeah, I should have said that. Yeah, July the 19th and 20th, and it's at a venue called Chalk in Brighton, and Dust as well. But they're in the same building. Chalk in Brighton. Put that in your maps.
Yeah.
Some great acts on that weekend. So we'll see you there. If you're going, we will see you there. And it'd be great to meet you. And in fact, Harry, it'd be great to see you again.
It'd be great to catch up in person, man. It's been a long time.
Yes. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on FestPod.
Yes, nice one, Harry. Cheers, dude.
Okay, so now we've learned loads there. We've found out all about the lineup. We found all about the venue, the fact that it's. We found out the history. Of Hammerdown.
Origin story.
Yes. So get tickets. I mean, for 65 quid, you know. Just a great value
unreal.
festival.
That's unreal, because all these bands could easily, or a lot of these bands could headline big venues, great crowds, and on their own back you'd be paying a decent amount. And I'd say, like, even just to watch a handful of those bands, that's your 60 quid there, innit? You know what I mean? Or your 40 quid. You know, that's easy. It's a no-brainer, and it's a weekend of just like hanging about with your mates, having a few drinks, watching cool bands, getting some cool merch. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's perfect. It's what we all want. As I say, like, I'm quite happy in that environment. So
yeah, you go, you pay that much to go and watch an arena gig, wouldn't you? Including your drinks.
Even more now. Like I've been like the last few shows, I've been paying for like anything like the Cope Arena, the new one in Manchester, or your AO Arena, any even bigger venues like the O2s and the academies and stuff, you can still creep up towards 80, 100 quid easy, if not more, for bigger
definitely.
acts. So it's a steal. It's actually theft.
Really is.
If you can just go about it now in terms of like working this out, you can easily do the maths backwards, and it's basically free. I'm sure you can figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can figure this out. Do you know what I mean? The mathematicians amongst you will definitely be able to backwards calculate the maths here, and it's essentially free.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you've no excuse, really.
No excuse. It'd be the best 60 quid / 40 quid or whatever it is you choose to spend that you'll ever spend. Best use of your time, best use of your money, guaranteed. Easy.
Exactly. So huge thanks to Hammerdown Harry, and huge thanks to Bleed Again for coming on to FestPod today. We love a chat. We love a chat.
Really?
So if you're
chatting.
So if you're running a festival, get in touch. We'd love to chat with you. Just a quick reminder: do follow us, like us on the socials, and on your podcast app. On YouTube, we're all over the place. Just look for FestPod and you'll find us. And again, huge thanks to our Patreons. Thanks very much for supporting what we do. It does help to pay for all the back end stuff that we need to do this. And that's it. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and thanks, Aaron, for joining us today.
Thank you always for having me. I will always be here where I am needed. All right.
Thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Cheers. Bye, everyone. Bye.
A Wilco Productions podcast.
I've got a pink one.